Good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing today? Get a little close to my mic right here. How's everybody doing today? It's another day we get to see it. Let's go. New mindsets, new shifts, new things happening.
I can't believe you never heard of me. I'm a very popular entertainer.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jamon Glover, and I am a personal and family development coach. I am a best-selling author. I am an inspirational slash motivational speaker, but I'm also a husband, a father, a paw. Yes, I've done a lot of things in the last 10, 20 years now on this personal development journey, and I'm excited to share everything that I'm learning and that I've learned with you guys. Good morning, Gary. Good morning, brick by brick. Let's eat. Whew. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm excited to be here today. And today, we're talking about manifesting dreams. Now, to do that, I'm going to have some visual aids that's going to help us kind of contextually understand everything that's been going on in my life, what's happening in the world overall. Because I'm not sure if you have any recollection of when you were younger, but I used to didn't believe in all this personal development stuff, right? I used to didn't believe that thoughts became things. I thought only certain people got to experience the good life. I thought because of my skin color, I was relegated to be in a certain segment of society. I thought because my family didn't start out in a wealthy place that we could never become wealthy. But you know what I found out, ladies and gentlemen? I found out that that is a lie. That is a lie. That is a lie. Where we are and where we're going in life is solely our decision. Somebody told me, pick a struggle. Either you're going to struggle with your past or you're going to struggle to get into your future.
He is the one.
He is the one. Yes, he is the one. Either you're going to struggle with your past or you're going to struggle going into your future. The choice is yours. And that's the beauty of being in this space, being human. We are the apex predators on the planet. We have intellect. We have a consciousness that is a self actualization that's innate within most of us. I mean, that's why you don't see, as much as we love our dogs and our cats and things of that nature, and our pets, and I would just say, they're not off trying to start a college fund for their children. They're now trying to build shelters and evolve in a way that their society grows. They're not super concerned about community. They operate solely off of instinct and survival, which is also why so many of us as humans, we're in our base nature when we're operating off instincts and survival. You know the saying, dog eat dog world? Yeah. But that's enough of that for today. Well, not enough. We're gonna get more into that for today. But I just want to start out, man. I want to check in. I already spoke to Brick by Brick. I spoke to Gary. You guys are here bright and early, and I'm happy that you are. So, recapping and thinking about where we came from, I got one question for you today. And this, of course, will be the question of the day. Let me find my little slide real quick. All right, question of the day. What do you really want? What do you really want? Now, I'm not talking about this cheeseburger that you saw on TV last night. You don't really want that. It looked good, but you don't really want it because you just ate, right? You just ate dinner. Or you about to get breakfast. It's not a burning desire to have it. But let's say you haven't eaten for 2 days and now you see this cheeseburger. Oh, it's a burning desire now. Every commercial you see, you're going to tear it down. Don't go grocery shopping hungry. We already know what happens there. When my wife goes grocery shopping hungry, I know it because I see a bunch of random stuff that she generally wouldn't have bought, but it looks so good in the moment. That's because we have a desire, a burning desire for whatever this thing is that we feel deprived of or starved of. But there's also the thing that if we process it properly, if we channel it right, we'll be able to take that same energy and to construct what we actually do want. So that's what we're going to be really getting in today. And so before we do that, I want to start out with a short clip from Oprah. Well, I'm gonna pause on that for a second. Let me tell you how I got to this space. And it's probably been for me maybe a 10-year, 20-year journey in the personal development space. And I told you when I started with the network marketing company, it was the paradigm shift, the perspective change that opened the door for me. I got around community of people that were like-minded thinkers. I started reading books. I started seeing people walk this thing out. And the biggest thing was I saw people who came from the same environment as me starting to make all kinds of impacts and inroads and dreams starting to happen for them. And it made me a believer. And so I developed a faith that systems work. I just didn't understand that it was more to that. I thought if I just spoke positively, I thought if I just got around the right people and I just put up my own little vision board, that my stuff would begin to happen. My dreams would be starting to come true. Then fast forward a couple of years, and then the movie The Secret comes out. Anybody seen the movie The Secret? Anybody seen The Secret? Give me a one if you've seen it, or a heart or something. If you've seen The Secret, let me know that you've seen it because I want to know how deep to go into this conversation, or how if I need to just skim through it. Have you seen the movie The Secret? I don't remember exactly what year it was. However, it was probably after 2010, somewhere around 2012 ish. And I remember the first time that I saw it, I heard about it, and I asked the question, well, what is it? And I was told that it's like the law of attraction. And I'm like, oh man, here we go with that stuff again. But that was my old programming talking because immediately I got a reminder that some of that stuff is kind of what has helped get you through some tough spots in life. That's helped you change a bad situation to a positive situation. Some of those same things have made you money to put your family in better situations. See, old programming is insidious. It comes back. It just keeps coming back. And so it's hard to unlearn your first behaviors, your first thought processes, but you can dilute them over time. I think about, like, let's say this cup of coffee, for example. Just imagine, if you will, a clear glass and you pouring black coffee into it. Coffee is steaming. It's super dark because it's a bold coffee bean. And now you take some creamer and you slowly add the creamer to it. And what happens? It begins to get lighter, right? Yeah, it begins to get lighter. Now, my mother, she'll take the cream. Well, maybe used to. She don't do it. Okay, she's watching this. I know she's converted now. But what she would used to do is she would take the cream and pour the cream in first because she wanted about that much cream, and then she filled the rest up with coffee. So the cream changed color a little bit, but not really. But our original programming is the black coffee. It's the foundational stuff. And so what we're doing is every situation, everything we go through, every life lesson, everything we learn, we are taking cream and adding cream to our coffee and we're diluting it. And we're becoming richer, becoming fuller, hopefully more sweet. I like that analogy. Shout out to me, man. I like that analogy. That's a good analogy. But that's what we're becoming on this journey. And so let me read the definition of visualization, because that's what we're going to be talking about majority of the day. Visualization. How do you see your dreams? How do you visualize your dreams? How do you turn your dreams truly into a reality? If you see it in your mind, Bob Proctor says you can hold it in your hand. And I've done it on so many occasions. As a child, who remembers the 80s and those old sandals commercials? Back when the movie Dirty Dancing kind of was still kind of hot. Now I have the time of my life and I owe it all to you. And you see these people running on the beach, jumping in the pool on this beautiful resort with these beautiful waters. And I used to sit back because it was so far from my experience as a kid. It was so far removed from that it just didn't make sense to me that I could do it, but I wanted to so bad. If anytime the commercial came on, I would stop and just watch the TV. I would be in such a good place watching this happen. And wouldn't you know it, last year, I manifested that. But not only me, because come to find out, my wife used to do the exact same thing when she saw the commercials when she was growing up. And both of us had forgotten about them totally. But when we came back together and we started planning our wedding, we decided to do a destination wedding, and we both said, Jamaica. Not thinking about the commercial, not thinking about this thing that we saw years ago. However, while we were walking down one of the pathways, it hit me. Yo, this is the dream. This is the commercial. This we manifested this. We literally manifested that trip. Not knowing each other, but being on that same frequency, being in that same vibration. The dream became a real thing. So that's what I want to really get into today. And so, what is visualization? Visualization is the practice of repeatedly imagining what you want to achieve in order to create or attract it. It's the practice of repeatedly imagining what you want to achieve in order to create or attract it. That's what visualization is. Now, the word itself, you may not have thought much about. But think about how many times you've dwelled on a situation, whether it was negative, whether it was positive. You dwell on it over and over again, thinking, feeling, longing, dreading, all these feelings you have, the anxiety, the joy, the excitement. When we feel things on that level, we attract more things like that. Every time that I've been in a car accident or I've had a bad turn in my life, it preceded me feeling bad about something else or dwelling on something else. There's not been, nothing comes to mind anyway, but there's not been many occasions where I was just in the best of moods, best of spirits, and then I said the wrong thing, or somebody hit me or pulled into, every situation in my life that's happened that was negative, I'm starting to realize now what Steve Jobs said was actually absolutely true. You can't connect the dots going forward. You can only see them looking back. And as I look back over my life now, I'm thinking about all the bad situations that I had. They were preceded either by something that I did or some negative place I was in and I made a bad decision. Something happened. I can't think of many bad things that just happened to me out of the blue. Now I'm sure there's one or two, but everything that come to my mind right now, it preceded me being in a low vibrational place, a negative place, a non-productive place, or hanging around non-productive or toxic people. Nothing good has come, nothing bad has happened when I was levitating, um, vibrating on that higher frequency. But it's my observation. Let me know if y'all feel the same way. Let me know what y'all thinking about that. And so the first phase of my thing was the network marketing. The second phase was the secret because he talked about the law of attraction, and I understood it to be this is something impactful. This is something that I need in my life. And so the third step was me actually walking it out, making a decision to live, at least test it out, test the theory. This guy says, speak positive, feel good about it, and work hard. So I'm gonna do that. And I did it, and I got some success. Excuse me, I bit my lip. I got a lot of success, actually, more success than I'd ever had. I interacted in better circles. I made more money. My lifestyle improved. I had better relationships, all because my mind changed and my paradigm, my worldview, it changed. Now, I hadn't done anything much more dramatic. I'm still the same person. I just started seeing the world differently, and the world changed right in front of my eyes. And so the fourth stage of where I am now is I'm actually teaching it because I've put enough practice in. I've got enough repetition, enough reps in to where I understand it at a certain level. Now, the first video I'm going to show you is Oprah talking about how she visualized things, the process that she goes through when she's into visualization, and how to actually do it. Wait, I didn't do the gratitudes. I didn't do the gratitudes. All right, I'm tripping. Let's get ready. Let's go into these gratitudes. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for all the things that I've had to endure in my life. I'm grateful to be able to look back and connect the dots. I'm grateful to learn from my trials, my tribulations, my mistakes. I'm grateful for a new future. I'm grateful for a new outlook and lease on life. I'm grateful for common sense. I'm grateful for a healthy body. I'm grateful for a strong mind. I am grateful. I'm grateful for family. I'm grateful for friends. I'm grateful to be able to love and be loved. I'm grateful for wealth, health, strength. I'm grateful for my children. I'm grateful for my legacy. I'm grateful for the people that come into my life that mean me good. I'm grateful for this channel. I'm grateful to be able to impact thousands of families every year. I'm grateful. I'm grateful just to see another day because I get to see the day. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that no harmful things have happened to my children, my family. I'm so grateful. All right, we are back. All right, so we're going to jump right into this video clip real quick and just kind of understand so we can start seeing what visualization and manifestation truly does look like.
You know, but I don't vision board anymore because I am a powerful manifester. And I know that, and I know how to do it without physically putting it on a board. I know how you know you have to. You want to know how to do it?
Absolutely.
You have to meet the vibration. You can't be above or below it. It's just what I was talking about: negative energy, positive energy. In order to draw the thing to you that you want to come, you can't want it so much that you fear that you won't get it. You have to want it. So, in order for me to be on your vision board, you must have put it there and then you let it go.
Yes.
And then you weren't thinking about it every day, because you can't. It doesn't come to you that way. You have to do it, and then you have to put it, and then you have to meet that vibration. You have to prepare yourself to be there and ready when it shows up. And you were, Jaleesa, you were there.
Okay. Was those audio levels good? Give me a one in the chat if the audio level was good. And so the thing about what Oprah said, she no longer has to put on the wall or the board her vision, her things that she wants to accomplish. She's in a space now where she knows how to hold it in on the screen of her mind, hold it inside, and then watch it come to fruition. But you can't want it so much that you're afraid you won't get it. And that's where I was for many years. When I first, it was a bit low. Okay, I'll make sure I boost that up on the next go around. The first thing I learned when I was doing the gotcha. Okay, I'll replay it since that was a little bit low. The first thing that I learned was, the first thing I discovered when I first did my first vision board, that nothing on that board came true. And so I was negative. I was down in the dumps once again because what I was hoping for, it didn't happen. So this negative spiral, this negative self talk, it kept hitting me in the face again and actually becoming true. So my logic was telling me that it doesn't work for me. But like I said yesterday, there are laws governing all of this stuff. There's laws governing. You have to be in the right space, the right mindset, and actually understand how to do it. That's like everything in life. We have to learn how to tie our shoes. When we're children, we get frustrated because we don't understand. There's a way that is done properly, that it don't come loose every 2 seconds. When we first, fellas, when you first learn how to make love to a woman, there's a way to do it. But sometimes we get so excited, we want it so bad, and then, yep, boom. Got too excited, baby, my bad. I got too excited, baby, my bad. Yeah. We get too excited and we're scared that we're not going to get it, so it doesn't work out. But we all know, and ladies, bear with me on this one. This is a guy thing. When we go into a situation, same type of situation, and we ain't super pressed here for it, we want it, but we ain't afraid we're going to mess it up. We knock it out the park. Never fails. We knock it out the freaking park. See, it's all up here, fellas. It's all up here. All right, now let me try to get back on this clip one more time. See if I can get this volume to go a little bit higher. All right, let's go.
You know, but I don't vision board anymore because I am a powerful manifester. And I know that, and I know how to do it without physically putting it on a board. I know how. You know you have to. You want to know how to do it?
Absolutely.
You have to meet the vibration. You can't be above or below it. It's just what I was talking about: negative energy, positive energy. In order to draw the thing to you that you want to come, you can't want it so much that you fear that you won't get it. You have to want it. So in order for me to be on your vision board, you must have put it there and then you let it go.
Yes.
And then you weren't thinking about it every day, because you can't. It doesn't come to you that way. You have to do it, and then you have to put it, and then you have to meet that vibration. You have to prepare yourself to be there and ready when it shows up. And you were, Jaleesa, you were there.
Well, that looks like it may not work that well for me. But yeah, brick by brick hurt. He said that's real. You have to actually meet the thing at the level that it's at. If you're here and you're the negative person, but you want this thing, this result, this thing here, and you here, you're gonna miss it every time. You're gonna miss it every time. The higher you get over a situation, easier it is to see. When you climb stairs and you look down over the first floor, you see everything so much clearer because you're at another level. And that's what parents are to their children. Because you've lived 20 years longer than your children in most cases. You understand a thing about life that they don't. And you see them bumping their heads, but they don't understand it yet because they don't know what they don't know. That's what visualization is. That's what manifesting is. There's information out here that is free, is in books everywhere. But in some places, education wasn't valued on that level. It wasn't stressed in the home. So that early programming was not that of seeking new information. It was just surviving. And so that's Oprah talking about it. And Oprah has been in a place that she has visualized and manifested so many things up into the billions. And she's a global icon, known all over the world. She's done some amazing things, and she's had hit a certain level of mastery that very few people ever hit. That's what I'm trying to get to where I can hold it on the image of thing that I want, and that feeling at the same time, hold it on the picture, the screen of my mind, and bring it into existence. Now, I have manifested some things over the past few years that I'm super excited about. Where I'm going right now, this show is a manifestation of things that I thought years ago. So it is definitely still happening, but it's been a unconscious thing for the most part. I'm just now learning that I can actually control some of these manifestations. I also want to show you a little bit more of that clip because this one is dealing with uh, your boy Michael Phelps, Mr. 8-time gold medalist.
I mean, the biggest thing I think that really separated me through my career was my mental game. Everything that was in between my ears. Like for me, it's just I I eventually got to the point where I was competing against myself because I was so hard on myself. And for me to improve, I had to get stronger mentally, and I had to find a way to do it. And I think my coach helped me get through that process and learn more. So for me, like when I would visualize, I visualize every single. I mean, getting up to a meet, I would visualize probably a month or so in advance, just of what could happen, what I want to happen, and what I don't want to happen. Because when it happened, I was prepared for it.
What Michael Phelps just said was something that I have been learning to do. Been learning to do. And that's when I started to realize one very important thing. You have to tell yourself stories about your process. You have to tell yourself, you have to paint not just the image, but paint the picture. Now, I'm about to go to I'm going to show you guys my vision. I have a board, I have a wall. This is my vision wall. It is mostly complete. However, there are some things still being added, and I decided that I was going to change up a few things and not paint the whole wall with stuff. I only put the things on this vision board that I want to see within the next 5 years because I didn't want to overwhelm myself with too many different thoughts and competing ideas. So let me go over here, and I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. I'm going to walk you through an example of what I do on a morning to morning basis. So I'm going to start here at the very bottom. You remember that land I was talking about? This is a picture of that 10-acre pond. Now, I covered it up, some of it, because I didn't want to see the name, because I didn't want to be setting myself up for failure and somebody see my land and decide they want it. But a 10-acre pond, buildable, is free, space over there that overlooks the pond. I mean, it's all of those things that I really desire. And so when I'm out looking at my land, or when I'm looking at this board, yeah, I said it, my land. When I'm looking at my board, what I truly see is myself. I can smell the air as I'm walking down the trails. I can see my brother and I on a golf cart headed to the pond. I could literally see it. I could smell the air. I see the fish jumping. And I can't help but look around and say, man, I did it. This belongs to us. I did it. And then that boat. You know, nothing fancy. I'm not a big boat guy, but I do want something nice to be on the pond or take to the lake or on a family gathering or something. I can see myself and the kids, myself and my wife, myself and my friends, my family on the boat, just enjoying the day, pumping the music on the open ocean or in the open lake. And then you already know, I've been claiming this one right here. New York Times bestseller. Yep. I can already see the book tours, being on talk shows, radio shows, morning shows, my own platform being interviewed by people about the book and what inspired the book. I already see it in my mind. And then this one, y'all already know. My goal is to be one of the best in the world, actually be the best in the world in that speaking game. Now, if you notice carefully, that is not my body. Those are not my hands and my arm, but that is my head. And I did color in the arms so they look more like mine. But I'm talking to a room full of people. I'm inspiring. I am leading. I am doing something that I'm super passionate about. I'm speaking. And since I started this YouTube channel, I'm looking at that plaque. Passing a million subscribers. Presented to me. Yeah. And if I have that many subscribers, you know how many lives are being changed and impacted? This one, I love this one because I've never been the rah-rah, pump you up guy. I've always been the more reserved, the more logical, the more thought-provoking guy. But I have this side of me that I just want to just rock the crowd. I just want to let go one day. I want to pump the energy like E.T. would do, like a Tony Robbins would do. Now we're going to take it down a little bit more. That's right. Y'all see that number right there, right? Deposits and credits. 10 milli. 10 milli. That's what I want. Because that 10 milli gets everything on this list. Everything. And I'm able to set up a fund, a trust fund, to leave a legacy for my family. My wife is a part of a professional fishing or a competitive fishing team called the Ebony Anglers. And every time we at the beach, I saw this house. And I loved the house every time I saw it. The front of it, this is the roadside view. And this is what it looks like at night, you know, from the side, the back, and the private pier that goes out into the water. I used to see this house all the time and thought it was amazing. And then I'm looking and it's now on sale. 1.6. 20. It's a 5-bedroom, 4.5 bath, but it's 20,000 square feet. What kind of parties could I have? What kind of things can I do for my family out there? And my original dream was the lake house. I can see myself now sitting out at my boat dock smoking a cigar, just enjoying nature, walking around my property, listening to the birds, watching other boaters go by, waving at the neighbors. I can already see it. Man, you own that? I sure do. And I've never been a big car guy. But there was something about this car right here. I first saw it maybe 8 years ago, and I've been stuck ever since. I've been stuck ever since. If those of you don't know, that is the Bentley. Imagine how good you feel hopping out or riding in one of those, driving one of those. Imagine what that leather smells like. So my next stop, I'm going to the Bentley dealership. It's one in High Point. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to sit in one and test it out. And let's not forget the exotic vacation, Fiji. I can see myself now sitting, laying in those chairs, drinking something sweet with a straw in it, with about 15, 20 friends, saying, bruh, we made it. We used to be in the projects. We used to we used to be in the shotgun houses. Now we here. Then of course, I want to have a view too. I want to have a condo. Somebody's downtown. I'm not sure if I want to be in Charlotte. I want to be in Atlanta. But I want to be in somebody's condo with a view. Excuse me, my condo with a view overlooking the city. And the last thing on my list is Old Betsy. I'm a Chevy guy through and through. And when I see a Chevy Silverado pull up, especially my favorite color is blue. Especially when I see one pull up, I'm telling you, no better feeling in the world for me. No better feeling in the world. But yeah, that's my dream board. What y'all think? What y'all think about my dream board? My vision board. My vision wall. What do y'all think about that? Do you have one? Have you set yours up yet? Are you writing your dreams down, your goals down? What are you doing to keep you dialed in? What things do you want that has that burning desire, that feel good with it? Because I promise you, I manifested that sandals trip as a kid. I've manifested so many things along the way that some I can tell you about, some I can't tell you about, and some things are still in process, as you can see. But it is real. And if you don't believe me, just think about all the spiraling we do sometimes when we go through tough times and we get stuck for weeks, sometimes months, sometimes years in these deep depressions because there's this narrative that's in our head and everything we see confirms that narrative. The same is true on the other side of the coin. The same is true. We get frustrated when we don't see things happening. Well, I hope this next clip it sounds a little bit better. Let's see. Because I got a couple more to show you.
It was so frustrating, and it was a test of my ego.
I don't hear that one at all.
It was a test of my ego. But I would visualize Kanye reaching out. I just knew that it was gonna happen. I didn't know how. And like I was like, I'm gonna make it happen somehow. And it did, bro. And it's like something you gotta trust. You know, imagine you being on a cliff and it's like there's no more cliff there, but you like, hey man, there's an invisible bridge. You know, if you had a guidance next to you, like you had your higher self walking next to you, and you're like, bro, there's nowhere to walk. And he's like, I'm telling you, if you take a step, it's an invisible bridge right in front of you, and that takes a lot of faith to walk on that bridge. Yeah.
Yep, that was your boy Big Sean talking about how he manifested meeting Kanye. How he manifested meeting Kanye. It was he was struggling. How he tells the story was his friends, he graduated high school and his friends they had went off to college, some were going to work, but he wasn't sure. He wasn't set on what he was going to do. He wasn't sure on how his life would actually turn out. But he knew he wanted to rap. But he wasn't getting any traction. He was rapping at every event he could rap at, he was rapping. But nothing was happening for him. And he got stuck in this place. He was frustrated. And then he started seeing Kanye and noticed Kanye was signing artists. And he just started visualizing everything about him meeting Kanye. Kanye calling him out, them shaking hands, him rapping on a track, them creating music together. And then just so happened one day Kanye happened to be in Detroit. And he came to the radio station and he went out there with some of his friends, and his friends they pressured him and like, hey man, let my man rap for Kanye, let my man rap for Kanye. And the rest is history. And that was another clip in there where he talked about he manifested his home. He dreamed every detail. He envisioned every detail of his house. And so when the house came and he was able to do all of that stuff, he was just like he had forgotten. But it was like he was so dialed in on what he wanted that he did it without even realize he was doing it. Same thing happened with me. As a kid, I'm thinking about this whole sandals vacation that I wanted to go on. Had no idea it would happen 30 years later. No idea. No idea. So I want to go back to something Oprah said. Being afraid that you won't get it decreases your vibration and your chances of actually getting it. But letting the idea bring you joy, that increases the vibration. Letting it bring you joy. Michael Phelps said that his mental game was the difference between first place and second place. He visualized every outcome of that race, but he dialed in on the outcome that he wanted the most. He saw his hand touching the wall first. He saw every turn. He saw what would happen on the podium. He had already seen it in his mind, so that anything that happened, it was no surprise. He wasn't surprised that he won. He'd already seen it too many times. A lot of times, we don't win because we've never seen ourselves win. All we see is ourselves losing or being in a perpetual place of mediocrity, having just enough, being comfortable. We don't see ourselves winning at a higher level in many cases. And we want to change that. I want to change it not just for me, not just for my family, but for your family as well, for the community. I want us to have the exposure to see that this is not just for certain types of people. This is for everybody. It's personal development. One of the things that I'm most excited about right now is therapy. The new wave that's happening right now with therapy. Therapy is changing our community in a lot of ways. And I say that because I'm in therapy, right? I go to therapy a couple of times, maybe twice a month. And having somebody to talk to, somebody that's not obligated to tell you what you want to hear, having somebody to bounce ideas off of that's unbiased. Now, some of us have that in our real lives. Some of us have that in a family or a friend. But if you don't have it, I would say therapy is the place that you need to go, especially if you need to unpack some old programming, some old traumas. If you need some help processing those things and why you are getting in your way, therapy is an amazing thing. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it. I can't say it enough. And again, it was something that I didn't believe in. Black folks don't go to therapy. What we doing? Telling people my problem. What happens in my head stays in my head. You know, what happens in my house stays in my house. You know, most of us have heard that before. But therapy is an amazing thing to help balance out some of the things that you deal with. Stress at work, relationships, personal and friend, work, but also those past traumas, those really bad breakups, those traumatic business losses, failures. Therapy is a great way to deal with that trauma. It's an amazing way. And I'll encourage you, if you haven't, please get into it. Please get into it. And so one of the final things that I want to talk about is the vision. It should be big. When you saw that 10 million on my board, I'm not sure I've made 10 million in my life. Because, where's my calculator? Let's do some quick math. Let's say they say the average American makes about $50,000 a year. Now that's the average because there's some who make way more than that, but there's a lot who make 25,000, 17,000. There's a lot. The poverty line is a real thing. So let's do some quick math. Let's say you have been an adult working for 25 years. Now let's say on average you've made for the whole 25 years times $50,000. You made $50,000 for the last 25 years. That comes to 1.2 million. So you see why that 10 mil number is so big, because I don't think I may have made a little bit more than that in my whole life, maybe closer to 2, but $1 million is a lot of money. Exactly $83,000 a month. If you was just anybody who was just curious, $83,000 a month will net you $1 million a year. 83 and some change will net you $1 million a year. So you see why there's so few millionaires, because very few people make $83,000 a month. Very few. I'm hoping to be one of those real soon. No, I am. Why I keep saying I'm hoping? My goal, I am going to be one of those. Why? Because I understand there's laws. I understand the secret really isn't a secret. It's just understanding how to put the laws to work for you. So, I have one more video that I want to show you. I'm hoping you can hear it. I apologize. I'm keep having these tech issues, and when I look at it, when I'm kind of putting it together, it looked like it's fine. Maybe there's some kind of barrier here when it comes to this whole YouTube thing. But next time I'll make sure it's super hot and I'll have to turn it down. But this last clip is Michael Phelps' coach talking about how to properly visualize in the state you need to be in before you actually start doing it.
The key to visualization is, number one, it has to be very vivid. It has to be rehearsed many, many times. And the reason it works is because the brain cannot distinguish between something that's really vividly visualized and something that's real. So by the time Michael steps up on the block to swim a race in a World Championships or Olympic Games, he's swum that race hundreds of times in his mind before he gets up there. So then when he gets up, all he has to do is shut everything down and it goes on autopilot. His body automatically knows what to do. The brain just switches into what he's visualized. And that's what's really powerful about visualization.
If you could not hear it, let me break it down. He said what's so powerful about visualization is once you've seen every aspect of the race, or in Michael Phelps' case, the race, once you've seen it over and over and over again in your mind, your brain cannot distinguish between what's real and what's not. So the brain sends signals to the body to give that result. That is the secret sauce that makes champions. Every high level athlete will tell you that they visualize. They don't just go outside. They do go outside and they shoot 200 jump shots after 200 free throws after practice. They still get in the gym and they ball. They're making their body do what they wanted to do. But then when they go home at night, when they wake up in the morning, they close their eyes and they see themselves doing it in their mind over and over again. This is what separates this guy who used to be the man. He was him in high school. He was him in college. But they get to the NBA, he's not him anymore. It's not that those guys are that much better. It's that they understand something. Their will is stronger. Their desire wasn't just to make the league. Their desire was to be great. That's why it's purposeful, and then you have to understand the intention behind doing whatever you are trying to do and understanding what you want. you have to know what you want. Because you can't say you want one thing, but then do something else. Cognitive dissonance. Your brain won't know what to do with that. But if you can program your subconscious mind by reading books over and over again, getting in a community like this one daily, understanding the lessons, hearing the same thing over and over again, it's the repetition that reinforms the subconscious mind that this is what we need to be doing. Anytime we do something that we're not comfortable doing or we don't like to do or it gets us anxious when we do it, the brain says, you know what, let's pull back from that. The brain says, no, you know what, my job is to keep you safe, to keep you happy and comfortable. So we're going to procrastinate on that. How many procrastinators we got in the building? Yeah, that's why we procrastinate. Because we don't have a passion for what we're doing. We don't want to actually do it. So we drag our feet. It becomes miserable for us to actually do it. And so the brain helps us out. The brain now says that thing right there is a no-go. The thing that stressed you out is not the thing that you want to go do every day. I used to hate going to cut the grass. I didn't know I had bad allergies back then. I just know I didn't feel good after I cut grass. And we had an acre to cut with a push more. And I would hear how lazy I was. I would hear how I have my moments. I know that, yeah, we all have our moments. But it's not that we're lazy. It's that we're not interested in doing that thing. Because somewhere we programmed ourselves, or we were programmed that thing is not something that we like. May have been a food, or it might be an allergy. I mean, it could be anything. For some reason, we don't like it. So what we're saying today is be super dialed in on what you actually want and watch how you feel about what you want. Because it's not just having the want that's going to get it for you. It's the feeling you have. Which is why you'll see people that keep attracting the same type of person. You'll have, or it might be you. You keep attracting the same job opportunities. I look in my closet, all I see is blue, black, and white. I don't even think about it. Those are my favorite colors. And everything in my closet is blue, black, and white. When I go to find something else, it's a struggle because my subconscious mind knows what I like. And without me even thinking about it, I pick up stuff here and there and everywhere else. People know blue is my favorite color, so when they give me something, it's in blue bags, blue cards. My car is blue. I got on blue jeans, a black shirt. Our subconscious mind is being programmed every day. So why not be more intentional about what we're putting in it, especially as it comes to our desires, those things that make us feel a way. It's nothing like, as a man, if I'm feeling a little off, if I'm not really vibing with myself, and I go get that fresh haircut, fellas, talk to me. When you get that fresh cut and that barber spin that chair around and give you that mirror, it's just like, cha-ching. Oh yeah, okay. Ladies, you can't tell me. I've seen it. I've seen it too many times. You go shopping because you're not feeling good, but you put this outfit on. You put these new pumps on. You get this new bag. Or you go get your hair done too. It changes the whole mood, right? Yes. That's what your dreams need to do. Now they probably should make you a little nervous, but not in the fearful way. It's the man. What is that gonna feel like when I hop in that Bentley? And I see that, I can imagine now how soft that leather on them seats are, gripping that steering wheel. I can already see it. I gotta get the scent now, so I gotta go sit in one. I'm gonna go to the dealership probably in the next couple of weeks, but I have to sit in one so I can get that scent because I need to program it here. Because if you can hold it here, you can hold it here. That's what visualization is. That's the process. That's how you go from being just okay to being outstanding. And I know today isn't one of the sexy topics. It isn't one of the no, isn't one of those ones that gonna make somebody catch on fire and shout for joy. But it's one of the key components to living a full and happy life, the one of your choosing, of your design. Because when you are truly focusing on what you want and reprogramming and becoming the best person, you tend to stop self-sabotaging. You tend to stop making bad decisions. You tend to stop hanging around people who don't mean you no good. Because you don't have time. It's not even an active thought. But as you are diluting that coffee with the cream, the same thing is happening to your mind. And that's it. Let's get these affirmations in so we can get about here, y'all. No, I'm running today because I'm excited about this topic because I've just seen it happen so many times in my life. I am excited. I am more than enough. I am capable. I am a conqueror. I am an overcomer. I'm happy and excited for the future that is unfolding right before my eyes. I am the one that will realize all of my dreams. I am happy and excited to have the #1 coaching and consulting company for men and family success. I'm excited to have multiple properties and homes. I'm excited to take trips to new places, meeting new people who have a different lifestyle than I do. I'm excited and I'm happy that my children are healthy and that they are following in the legacy. I am happy and I'm excited that today is the worst I'll ever be. I'm excited that every day I get better and better, stronger. I'm more loved. I love harder and more stronger. I am excited for the life that I choose because I get to choose it. I am excited. I am excited because I don't have to settle for what I've settled for before. I am more than enough to realize all of my dreams and goals. I am. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. We did it. We about to here. Yo, that was different. I had a lot of moving parts and a lot of moving pieces. Did it resonate with you though? I'm curious. Did it resonate? Do you have a better understanding of what it means to visualize, what it means to create the dream on the board, to creating a dream on the wall, but actually not just putting pictures up for the sake of putting pictures up, actually feeling something about it, telling yourself the story that makes you smile, that makes you feel it more intently, already seeing your stuff in possession of it. That's faith. That's faith. Faith is creating the invisible really out of thin air. Whatever the mind can conceive, whatever you can believe for, you can have. But this is one of the most crucial steps to realizing dreams. Because in life, if you don't know where you want to go, in life if you don't understand the route you're going to need to get there. And if you don't even believe you're capable of making it happen, then odds are you never will make it happen. So I want this to take us out today. It's been a long show, probably the longest show that we've had. But I just want to stress it was this way because it had to be. This is the lesson. This is the missing component. It's just like when we started, I would do the gratitudes and the affirmations, and I felt dumb for doing it because I wasn't raised that way. I'm not the rah-rah guy. I'm the quiet, low-key guy that, I was very private. But something about teaching it, which was my fourth phase of this personal development space, something about teaching it is breaking chains off of me and is allowing me to be transparent, to be truthful, to give the best knowledge that I have of what actually worked for me. I am not a therapist. I am not educated in that way, but I'm a real person who's actively been doing personal development for the last 20 years. And I've seen where I've excelled. I've seen where I failed. And I'm just sharing with you. So shout out to that chick, yo. Craig G, as always, brother. Appreciate it. Brick by brick. Gary Johnson, yo. Thanks for rocking with your boy. I really appreciate what you do. Your consistency. And my promise is I'm going to keep bringing as much information as I can until y'all tell me to stop. I love the work that I do. And eventually, this is all I want to do. I just want to speak, coach, write a couple of books, fish on my land, hunt on my land, play with my kids. Me and my wife just sailing off into the sunset. That's the life that I want. Going between the condo, downtown, the beach house, where we host family gatherings. That 10 million number makes it all happen. But the craziest thing, in order to make that money, to make that type of income, I have to change the person that I am to qualify for that. And so yet again, I'll be making another transition, becoming better and better. And that scares me, I'll be honest with you. But it also excites me. Because I know what it feels like to be broke. I've seen that side. Now it's time to experience a new life, a new way. And then I can compare and I can tell you which one is better. I can tell you which one is better. But anyhow, look, it's Tuesday. It's 8 o'clock, 8:06 actually. Go have your best day. Live your best life today. Be excited about where you're going because all we get is today. The only thing we're promised right now is today. So, y'all be blessed. See you tomorrow.